What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Let me get close to the mic. This your boy Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Doll himself. I just got in. My son had a band orchestra event this evening. Let me get close to the mic. And I got in. I want to do a live feed. It's something I've been wanting to go over the past couple of weeks, but my schedule been so funky. I had a chance to talk to everyone about it. And it's really discussing if you've been in any restaurant or went to any particular store, you've noticed what we're talking about being a nationwide labor shortage, right? And when you talk to people all across the gamut, especially go to a restaurant, you feel you haven't got the best service. Not necessarily even if a person is being unprofessional or rude, but more so they just don't have enough people on staff with doing it. And you guys know that with my company, Majestic Business Services, I'm an accountant by profession, but this time of year outside of taxes, we do a lot of consulting. So, pretty much like a fixer. And so I want to discuss with you guys tonight for small business owners, how small business owners can fix nationwide labor shortages, right? Because far too often you see theoretically people look, they got their business open, they can get people working, and you got people coming in, you should be making money, everybody should be happy, but that's definitely not happening rather. And what's happening, you ask people, man, what's going on? People give you all kind of reasons, like no one wants to work, no one wants to, you can't pay people enough money, all over the gamut, right? But again, when I go into an actual business, especially doing what I do in regards to consulting and accounting and fixing different businesses, I got a different lens where I look at it. And what I wanted to share with you guys, especially if you are currently in business or aspiring to be in business, because again, I'm here in Atlanta. They up here eating and brunching and every damn thing, and everybody got these slick ideas of what they want to do. Theoretically, the problem that still comes back up is you got to put people in your business to be able to work. And it seems like nobody has got that secret formula together in regards to hiring the right particular staff to actually be able to, project project their ideas and what they want to do with their business, right? Especially guys, I know tons of you guys have been to different bars, restaurants, and you're looking at it like the service is horrible. You're waiting 30, 40 minutes just to get a damn Coca-Cola, right? And the people come back. And like I say, it may not be an issue if people are lazy or whatever, just totally understand. And what I want to share with you guys, I'm going to give you guys like the formula in regards to what a small business owner can use and stuff. And the issue that's going to come up with that, most people that are in business already, they're in the thick of it. And it is very hard to fix stuff when you're actually rocking and rolling and you got bills to pay. You got rent, you got taxes you got to pay, you got to get inventory in, you got to come pay back stuff you may have borrowed out before. So whatever particular business you got, if you got service building where you're service business rather where you're cleaning, painting, plumbers, restaurant, you sell merchandise or just any kind of retail, but you're like, look, man, I can't get enough damn people to work. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to give you guys some ideas of what I think everyone should be doing in regards to be able to combat, a nationwide labor shortage. Listen, right now, I'm streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. Again, this is Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. The main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel, where we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investing. We have over 800 videos on the YouTube channel covering those same topics, including business management, business operations, a lot of great information just like that. Plus, we even have a grant playlist with over 150 grant opportunities for you guys to take advantage of. A lot of good information for entrepreneurs and people trying to help themselves from a personal finance standpoint. Go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. You can Google Mr. Short Dollar. You see this handsome face pop up. Subscribe to the channel and take advantage of the great information on the YouTube channel. Now, regardless of what platform you're looking at, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter, I still want you to go to the YouTube channel, subscribe. But where you at right now, it's cool. If you have to leave, always remember, go back to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. You can see this whole video in its whole entirety. But again, we're talking about how small business owners can fix a nationwide labor shortage. And guys, I'm thinking about, I've been at, let's give like, the average story. If all of us have been to any kind of bar, restaurant, we went there. Ambiance is great, because I think theoretically, most people have that little vision how they want it to look. You walk into the restaurant, it's great. They got the music flowing, everything's cool, everybody looking good and stuff like that. You see all this, Everybody's just ready to go eat and have a good time. But then you wait 20 minutes for somebody to come to your table. And when they come to your table, they say, hey, I'll be right with you. And they may lay some forks and some napkins and water. Then another damn 15, 20 minutes go by. And they say, hey, anybody wants some appetizers? And shit, you buy hungry as hell. Then you just want to, you don't even damn feel to go in the back and cook the food yourself. And it's evident once you start looking around, shit, it's probably about 40 to 50 people looking to get served, but 2 or 3 people on the clock. And then even if you got 2 or 3 people on the clock, you might look in the corner, you might see a couple employees, they over there texting on their phone. Someone might be over there joking. You trying to figure out what the hell's going on. You talk to the manager, they say something, hey, we're short of staff. Well, I don't know if you're short of damn staff, I know you're damn short of serving me. And it happens all the time. No matter where you go and stuff like that. I do think sometimes when you start going to some other establishment that are a little bit more established, you may see, especially when you start going to upper tier 4 and 5-star restaurants, you do see some of those things kind of negated when you look at those and stuff. So that's why we have these rainbows of excuses. People don't want to work, folks lazy, can't find anybody. But here's the problem with everything. I think that the main thing that hurts entrepreneurs with trying to hire people is the same thing that hurts entrepreneurs with trying to acquire customers. Far too often, people, when they get into business, and this is very, very key for anybody that's looking to start business, because a lot of times when people want to become entrepreneurs, they typically have some kind of experience or some kind of skill set that they're pretty familiar with, right? They already know how to, paint. They already know how to pressure wash, know how to cut hair, cook, bake, whatever. But they know that well. But the whole operations, advertising, marketing, managing, and stuff like that have no idea. And because you think it's easier than what it is, you kind of put minimal effort and try to learn what it is. And hiring people and training people is probably one of the biggest steps that people miss out on. And see, here's the deal. At the end of the day, you got to look at it like this, guys. I think probably the most critical thing when you have employees, you need to put a huge focus on who you hire, because the person that you hire, the wrong person, they can be the person that devastates your business. They can cause you to lose contracts. They can cause you to lose customers. They can cause you to get sued. They can cause you to just ruin your whole reputation if you got the wrong person in place. So you have to be very, very careful. And that can be just somebody off the street, family member, spouse, significant other, who the hell, sibling, whoever. You have to be very, very careful with that. And so what I want to discuss is with people doing this, you have to use that same approach where I talk about in regards to acquiring, how you would acquiring a customer. And again, the main thing to get lost with this is most of the time people don't actually try to fix this till they knee deep with the company already running. The issue that comes up when the company is already running, you got, like I said, you got company running stuff going on, bills, taxes, those things like that. So that's what makes it tough. But if you ever want to fix it, guys, and you already started your business up, at some point you got to hit the brakes. You got to pump the brakes. I'm telling you guys, and I know we got people coming in and out of the lives and stuff like that, especially on TikTok. A lot of people want to start businesses up, but I think people, for the vast part, in my opinion, I'm over 20 years in the game. I'm self-employed, and I think most people, they say they want their own business. They say they want to be their own boss. I just think people just want a damn raise. I mean, personally, they can get a raise, they can get more autonomy and freedom in their job, they'll be cool. But when you start going into this world of uncertainty, where you got to control your own destiny, it's extremely scary. It's extremely hard. And a lot of times people can go 6 months to a year into it, lose everything they have, trying to chase that particular dream. That's not the best thing for them. But with this piece of advice I want to give you guys, especially when we start talking about acquiring employees, because nationwide people going through the same thing. But again, I think one of the biggest reasons why is just poor planning. So let's start back and say, D, look, we've been running your mouth for a little while. What are we supposed to do? Right? You're saying, listen, this is the way for small business owners to fix a nationwide labor shortages. Same theory that I would tell you guys before. Know what your target market is, right? We know when we open these businesses up, one of the worst things you can do is just say, look, I just want to service everybody. You go posting on social media, saying that, you clean, you cut, wash cars, you cut grass, you paint, you're a baker or whatever. But at the end of the day, you just pushing it out there, just like if you were hunting. right? And you got targets out there in the woods or the forest. You just shooting out there, just shooting, no particular target whatsoever. But the problem comes up is you're gonna waste a lot of time and money just shooting out there with no particular aim. You got to know how your target customer look. You know, if they're white or black, certain age, certain income level, whatever. And then what happens is from that point, now you got more clarity on who you're trying to service, right? If you want to be this celebrity, if you want to be this particular celebrity, a premium chef or whatever, got a lot of those in Atlanta. If you want to actually be, you know, a baker or a designer, clothing designer, you got to actually know who you're trying to service, especially from a, you know, their demographic standpoint, gender, income, things like that, right? You got to be able to do that because far too often you'll just be wasting time trying to just put money and advertising time into the wrong channels. You'll never hit the right people, right? So we got to know who we're trying to sell our products and services to, right? We know that. We know that, right? Once we figure that out, you know, whatever income level, gender, whatever, if it's both, whatever, you know, you niche it down to however you want to do it. Once you got that, then you'd actually have some kind of clarity in how you want to move about getting that particular customer. Theoretically, it's the same thing when you're getting your employees. The problem come up is because I was reading an article, you know, just like, you know, you've seen so much talk about, well, I think with Keith Lee were going to the restaurants in Atlanta, and a lot of people were responding. I think I seen the Candy Burris response, and she was saying about as far as, you know, getting people into working, and I'm seeing the comments, and it's not to just go about who's right or who's wrong, but I was seeing some of the comments where people were making, hire more people, you can do this, do that. But that when I hear people say things like that, that lets me know they don't know a damn thing about business. Because at the end of the day, you can hire people. That's the theory of doing it. But you don't know if people are lazy. You don't know if they got health issues. You don't know if they got time issues. You don't know if they got attitude issues. You don't even know if they got competency issues and stuff like that. So it's not, you can't bring everybody into your particular business, right? So what I will say is this, guys. You have to do the same kind of thing in regards to knowing what is your business that you're doing. You know who you're trying to service. Now, who are the people that can do that? And you got to really, really spend time thinking about that. And I'm just give you guys a couple examples. Like, you know, I had a salon for 17 years. My salon in particular, they were sweets. But what I usually did, I'm gonna get up close to the mic. What I usually did with my salon suites, I already know I needed the actual people, because the people that work in the salon were actually people that rent booth rent. So those were mine. You want to look quote unquote employees, the actual people that were in the booth rent, because they're the ones that were paying me. But I actually knew how they looked. I knew I wanted, and I wasn't so stuck. Like I had a couple of guys over the years that was there, but most was women. But it was more of an age and experience thing. I was not going to rent out a booth to a young person. In 17 years, maybe I could count on one hand somebody that was young in the business. But most people that I was looking at, they had to be over 10, preferably 15 years in the business, but definitely over 10 years in the business with doing it. I wanted people that were seasoned. I wanted people that just wanted to come in, you know, because, you know, you got somebody that's older stylist kind of just want to go in, make their money. They wanted the shop to be clean, secure, safe. They had to worry about everything functioning and stuff. And that's what I was providing. I was not providing, I didn't want to get a younger person in because I didn't have the, you know, feng shui, you know, hot last shop. That's not what I was providing, right? That's not what I was doing. I wanted to have the nice, clean, secure one. So I didn't have to put in all the bells and whistles with doing it. It wasn't necessarily an issue of me being cheap, but what I think a lot of times people don't understand theoretically, when people start businesses, I'm just using an example for barbershop and beauty salon. The reason why so many of them fail is because people put so much money into the startup phase of it, of all expensive chairs, this, that, and that, and the math don't work. The math is not going to work in regards to those salons, and that's why a lot of them fail, because again, the mathematics in regards to just breaking even, making those recouping those initial costs, and even going forward, it doesn't really work like that. And I knew what I wanted in my shop from a standpoint. Wasn't discriminating, but I knew, like, listen, I could get these particular items as far as the chairs and booths, older person would be cool. They had established clientele, so I had to worry with them. What they worry about them trying to build their book of business. And with that said, it wasn't always the fastest I was able to fill the seats up. Right. I'm gonna be honest with you. I could have got desperate. And hey man, let me bring somebody in. Let me do certain things and stuff that would have been against the culture of the particular salons. But I knew that if I brought the wrong person in, that could affect the other people that was already there and they could leave, right? So I had to be very, very, very conscious of who I did that with. And that's the same thing with a lot of small business have to be able to understand is that when you're hiring people, you have to have a certain idea of how they look, right? We start looking at fast foods. The morning shift, you got to have adults. You got to have adults in that kind of, okay, they want to work these particular wages. They may be in between. They may be transitioning or whatever. You know who has to come in. The evenings, you may bring in your high schoolers and things like that. They may be in between trying to do certain, though, what they know, because keep in mind, the reason why it's a little easy, you see it more in practice with fast food places, because they have a corporate structure and system already set in place where they've done research and development to know, okay, these are the kind of people we want to hire here, right? Right or wrong, fair or unfair, but that's kind of, how they're drafted. And so that's why I say a lot of times people have to actually sit down as a business owner. You have, just like you got to know who your target market, who you're trying to service, you got to know who your target employee, what they look like, and understand that it may take you a little time to actually get everything in place. One of the biggest problems come up with people want to get in business, they want to rush. I got this idea, I got to get this money, I got to leave this job, I got to chase my dreams. And you go out there and make bad decisions, and then you ask back looking for another damn job 6 months to a year, right? That's not to poke fun at people, but a lot of times patience is just needed. Wrong one built in one day, and you leaving your job and starting a new, it won't be the same way either. But I think a lot of times people take their time and just make the correct planning, they'll see a whole lot of different results. And that's what happens a lot of times. You see people start open up restaurants, open up bars, and the things that they think matter to the customer, that being, the ambiance, the music, the brunch. I mean, all this you see here in Atlanta, they'll have in place live music, but the stuff that would piss a customer off, not enough food isn't up to par because you don't have a someone with any kind of culinary training in regards to how to store, cook, present. So anyone that knows how to stage, in restaurants and stuff like that, none of that stuff. Somebody knows how to calculate the proper amount of staff needed for certain hours and stuff. None of that stuff is in place. People shooting from the hip with doing it. And those are kind of things that will hurt your business more, because you can have it looking nice as on the what, but who the hell want to wait 39 minutes for one drink, right? Who want to wait 20-some minutes for 30-something for their food? And then they didn't want to get their food. The food is not up to par. You got to spend you some time, man. Listen, and putting a little money into etiquette training or wait, just to get some kind of extra training for your waiters and waitresses. Invest in having somebody some kind of management skill. Same thing if it was some service business, plumbing, painting, electrical. You got to sit here and understand. Like, I've had clients that have had those particular customers, those particular issues, and they couldn't scale because they could not get the right people in. Man, these guys don't want to work. You got to know who to get. You got to know how to get. When I had my cleaning business, one of the same things, same issue. And people would always look at me, man, how would you able to, keep that stuff rolling? Same thing. I knew how my employee need to look. I knew how. Well, the biggest thing, you just give, like you say, BCAD, kind of one big thing kind of switch with me. We talking about early 2000s and stuff like that. So there wasn't a big penchant on those early 2000s. There wasn't a big penchant on background checks, and so it wasn't an issue. Sometimes you can get a guy in, got Mr. Charlie 40, 60 years old. He may have had some checker pass, and they can be male or female, but they're older, they stable. They, just want to make a little extra money in the evenings, cleaning up and everything. And that was cool. They wasn't about no BS. They just want to get their money. You paying them fair. Everything was cool, but they just want to get their money. And, just I knew how they look. I didn't want to get a young guy in. They're going to come in high. They're going to be smoking on the job. Could keep in mind with that janitorial business, one bad report, now you done lost 5, 10, 15, 20 grand a month because you might not just lose that particular site. They have multiple sites already contracted out to you. All that stuff gone. God forbid you got anything dealing from a government standpoint. Now you got a bad name because it's one damn fool want to get high on the job. So you got to be very, very careful that kind of stuff. But it still go back to I knew how my particular ideal employee looked, right? I knew I would have older guys, older women and stuff like that. They want their money, just need a little extra income coming in. It was cool. The kicker came in. I forgot when it was, when the transition. Most of these places just went with these background checks. They didn't want anybody with criminal record or felonies and stuff. Didn't want them on the premises. That messed a lot of stuff up. That messed a lot of stuff up for me because I'm not saying the only damn people clean had felonies and stuff like that. But when you got good people, it's hard to replace. It's hard to replace good people. You can find other people, but good people and stuff like that is hard to replace. But so we had to make those adjustments and get new people in and stuff like that. But then it still goes back. You still trying to have that picture of who you want to work there. Like, nah, I can't have a young person and I can't have no somebody in there, and again, it's not discriminating about being young. Those particular things, I needed somebody mature in there and actually probably stable enough to understand what we were trying to do, what I had to lose, and they were just, they want, serious about getting their money, and let everybody, be happy from there. That was a little funky. We're trying to get that done. We did okay, but never how it was when, previously before some of the places were requiring the folks didn't have any kind of felonies. But theoretically, everything still goes the same way in regards to how you're going to be able to combat any kind of labor shortage. Because like I said, it's the same thing what we talk about, acquiring that target market and the target customer. You know how your customer look, right? That's why I tell people a lot of times that because they don't spend a lot of times trying to look at, who is their customer, especially talking about retail and service, because they're just trying to just call people and just post and you're wasting time. You have to know who the hell you want to sell your product. You got to know, and then from that point, you can move into the place where they had push information and things like that. But you got to have an idea of how your target audience, target customer looks, right? It's the same thing with the employee. How does the cat that works for me look? Do I want a young person, older person, energetic? Do I need a smart person? I got to pay for their skill. Do I just need somebody who's going to be labor intensive and they can be able to handle that? You have to have an idea how that is, right? And I mean, you got to spend a lot of time just really being analytical in regards to that. And that is the reason why, because people are trying to get desperate and they try to plug and play anybody that applies, and they're not the best. Because like I said, guys, small business owner, you put the wrong person in your stuff, they can destroy everything that you have worked for. Everything. And it happens far too often when people have folks that are close to them working, i.e. your spouse, i.e. your child, i.e. your sibling, and they destroy your everything you work for because, I mean, it ain't for them. And you trying to save money or whatever, they might fill them in, put them in, and that's not what they need to be. You need a person that's skilled for that. So you got to be realistic about it. When we start talking about these nations, labor shortages and stuff, if you may not be able to produce the product or service that you want to, because you may need 5 people to actually deliver where the math works for you, and you just might not have it right now, right? That's just keeping it real. But when you say, okay, listen, I know it's not going to be a lot of people I can find to do this, but I'm still going to try to, push something similar to it that's going to require 10 people working, it is not going to last long. It's nothing wrong with being realistic where you at and just scaling down. Like, look, we're just going to do this small, learn it, whatever, this, that, and that, and we'll just, channel it up and get more people in as a year go by, and we can just grow and, grow at at our discretion. But when you start off so big and then you got to fill things in, and now you can't, you're under delivering to your customers and stuff, you're doing more detriment to yourselves. Okay. So you got to be smart about it. Again, I am Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Tonight we're discussing how small business owners can fix a nationwide labor shortage. Because again, like I said, I know everybody, unless they have not got out within the past couple of years, you've experienced some kind of delay and, product or service going to different places, because people say that we just don't have enough people working. It's a labor shortage. And I say, I don't necessarily believe it's a labor shortage. I think it's just a shortage of getting the right people to work for you. And like I said, again, spend less time trying to get the folks you can't, probably not the most beneficial for you. Spend more time trying to find the people that can work with you. Again, what loses that is people trying to, if that's not available, just scale it down. Scale it down, do the way you want. If you need, in your ideal, I need 2 or 3 people to do this. You probably can't get number 1, right? But then adjust everything accordingly, right? That's why it's so critical to try to have as much stuff done on the front end, proper lease negotiations. I have already negotiate with utility companies in regards to the pricing and costs that they're going to have. That's what business owner CEOs do. They don't just go get an LLC and get a business license, open shit up. You got to know what's going on. And you got to be savvy enough to understand the whole mathematics side of it in regards to those operating costs, just with your utilities, your insurance, your payroll, and things like that. You gotta be smart enough to understand how everything impacts each other. And so again, if the vision you have requires X amount of bodies working, but you can only get a smaller number next, just drop it down for a little bit. Perfect what you got, and then expand from there. Okay, that's what I think was hurting a lot of people, because far too often you got too many of these places open right now, and they won't be able to stay alive because they don't have people working. They just don't. They don't. And you can just cut back hours. You stay out of it. You want to sit here and work. You can't do it like that. You can't do it. And there's nothing wrong, because instead of you getting a brick and mortar store, you may can get you a food truck. You may can get you a kiosk, and do that accordingly, right? You can't get a certain kind of contract right now as far as with the cleaning or the janitor, the landscaping, because you can't scale up because you can't get the people to do that. Give yourself a little time, hey, let me perfect it, and we're going to spend the effort to actually get some people in and help service it. But don't just try to overstretch yourselves to get somebody in there and they tearing stuff up. Now you done hurt a relationship with somebody and trying to just force something. All right. And wrong one built in one day, and your business ain't gonna be either. Right. And I understand that may not necessarily be a popular choice with a lot of people, but I'm telling you guys, you gotta be very, very conscious what you do in regards to actually when we're in business. And I think that's what's happening a lot of time with these restaurants and stuff, even just service companies not being realistic about what they can and can't do. Hold on one second. I'm trying to make sure I got this. Anybody got any comments or questions and stuff like that? I wasn't gonna be streaming too long today. I just want to get on and holler at everybody. With that, I don't see anybody. Nobody on TikTok here, so I guess everybody's good as far as having employees. Most folks want to come in and just learn about grants to get free money and stuff like that. Y'all get that damn free money. That money's gone just as quick trying to hire people that don't, it won't be a good fit for your organization with doing that. Instagram. So you got me here, guys. You got me here right now. So, I'm opening the floor up. If you got any questions about labor shortages, you want to actually start a business, grow a business, anything in particular from an entrepreneur standpoint, the floor is yours. So just gonna ask me right now. Short dollar, not low dollar. So you guys know how much I'm a little pricey when it comes to doing the consulting, but you got me for free right now, guys. And with that said, guys, remember, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. The main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel. If you have not, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Take advantage of all the great information. We got over 800 videos on the YouTube channel for you guys to take advantage of, okay? A lot of good information there. A lot of good information for you guys to get empowered with, okay? I don't see anybody else on us. So nobody got any questions or anything like that? Entrepreneurship, business, I'm finna get rid of rock and roll and disappear. But I did, like I said, I want to come in and have a conversation with you guys tonight what we talked about in regards to how small business owners can fix nationwide labor shortages. Because again, if you've been out there, you've seen or you've waited, been some inconvenience somehow. We're dealing with what's supposed to be a nationwide labor shortage. Okay, but listen, man, here's the deal: if you have not been in, guys, definitely go to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Appreciate that, Barefoot Triangles. I appreciate you coming in. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate that. Thanks for the gift as well. I appreciate it. Yeah, we've been rocking and rolling, man. So no questions or anything like that. I'm gonna probably have a live feed come up in the morning. A little tired up today. Shout out to my son William. He had his music recital orchestra performance this evening, man. So your boy got in started a little late dealing with that. So that was pretty cool. Had a good time. Big shout out to Will B for that. Let me see if we got anything else. Guys, no questions or anything like that while y'all got me on? So I guess not. But listen, man, I want to tell y'all, I appreciate all the love and support. If you just came in the middle of the show,